Welcome to Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen. It's time to gather around the table to cook and converse. Right here, we'll come together to learn about Kansas agriculture and the farm families that feed us as we discover new recipes, Kansas products, and farm fresh ingredients.
Good morning and welcome back to 13 News. This morning it's Thursday, therefore we have Chef Alli in her Farm Fresh Kitchen. I'm just getting a waft of all of this stuff.
Yes,
wonderful
good
stuff. Can't wait to dig in here. Sarah Bowser's with us in our Kansas Farm Bureau segment. Sarah, you and your husband are farmers here in Northeast Kansas. It's a big part of your lives, and it's can be a part of everybody else's lives as well if they want to get involved. How does that happen?
Well, good morning, Chris. You're right. Agriculture is key to Kansas, and I know a lot of individuals are young farming couples like my husband and I here north in Holden, Kansas. And key to getting involved when you move back to a rural community is having a connection point. Kansas Farm Bureau has been that for my husband and I. There's a Young Farmers and Ranchers program, a number of touch points for young farmers and ranchers, whether it be there specifically in your county, or there's an annual conference that brings in nearly 600 young farmers and ranchers, all with common challenges and opportunities in their communities for a conference in January. I'd encourage anyone out there on the farm looking for that touch point to contact your local county farm bureaus to get involved.
And July is National Sorghum Month, and of course, I didn't know that you said this off the air, but it's kind of surprising to hear that Kansas is the leading producer in the country of sorghum, which is also known as Milo as well, right?
You're right. Sorghum is alive and well in Kansas. We grow almost 40% of the crop, or a little over 2.9 million acres in Kansas are planted to sorghum. Alli and I were talking, traditionally it was livestock feed, right? But sorghum opportunities and end uses are continuing to grow and provide value back at the farm gate for our farmers here in Kansas. Those applications range anywhere from export market. This week, we have a U.S. Grains Council team through central Kansas. They're touring farms, meeting different elevators, having some of those experiences to see, touch, and build those relationships of what we do so well in Kansas, and that is grow grain and grow valuable ag commodities, all the way to hear what Alli has today.
Yeah.
There's a company in Scott City, Kansas, New Life, and they produce food products for sorghum, so valuable food products for diets, high in antioxidants, low glycemic index, ancient grain, and all grown locally right here in Kansas.
And I'm interested to see how Alli's going to incorporate this, because you don't really hear sorghum going into you don't say, well, you add your sorghum here into recipes very often.
Right, but the neat thing about sorghum, as with any grain, and here's a bowl, this is the uncooked version. This is actually a pearled sorghum, which what that means is they've removed the outer shell so it cooks much faster. I cooked this in 15 minutes in R2D2 this morning, and then what I want to do is incorporate that into my baked eggs. And so here in my cast iron skillet, we have our vegetables, our mushrooms, our greens. That makes the base. And then what I did is I put my cooked sorghum over the top of that. Then we added our cooked ham. We've also got sweet potatoes in here. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Then we put our Parmesan cheese. The fun part about this recipe is when you get to take your very farm fresh eggs, which I love that. My son gathered those last night from the neighbors. I'm so excited about them.
Did the neighbors know about it?
They do know about it.
Okay.
They do actually, yes. And so when you finish this, on the top you're going to make some little nestling stations, if you will, and put those eggs down in there. And then it's really fun to just pour 1/4 cup of whipping cream over the top, which makes you feel like you're really got something special, because this is so laden with fat, but we don't need very much. Then into the oven at 450 for just 10 minutes until your eggs are barely set.
I don't want this whole thing to slide.
Isn't that
but it looks
beautiful?
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
so that's a kind of a rustic looking dish, but it's so easy to make and it cooks really quickly. So, and incorporates our sorghum, which also is neat because it, like any grain, there's no flavor there, so it's going to take on the flavors of your dish and just add more nutritional benefits for you.
Yeah, it looks like couscous actually. So
it kind of does, yes.
Great stuff.
Israeli.
Real quick, go to your Facebook page, right?
Absolutely, because we have a Zest and Zing bag for you and a Kansas Farm Bureau t-shirt. If you know how to comment on my page, and what you need to comment would be pearled sorghum, and we're actually even going to add Sarah's name to that. You have to comment pearled sorghum, Sarah Bowser. How about that?
Sounds good.
There you go. Lots to remember. So quiz you on Chef Alli's Facebook page. Sarah, thanks so much, Alli.
Thank
you
you
as always. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us. Kansas Farm Bureau is proud to support hardworking families across the state, like farmers and ranchers who make it their life commitment to provide food that nourishes all of us. Kansas Farm Bureau, representing grassroots agriculture.